and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 19th of July, 2024. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live. I know we're streaming live on Twitch. Oh, there we go. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. And moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Suzanne and the lovely Deline, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators. And thanks to everybody for joining us today. If you're watching on a restream on YouTube and you don't want to watch shuffling, just use the timestamps in the video description to get to the main reading. I'm today reading with this Golden Tarot of the Renaissance. Let's purify with this Verbena. Well, it's actually called Vervain by Panier des Sens. Verbena, Vervain. Tomato, tomato. 3 sprays in this room is more than sufficient. You can find links to, ooh, that smells good. You can find links to purchase these products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're on Twitch, please make sure that you follow us. And you can watch on Twitch without any ads when you subscribe to us there. This reading goes out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you, it's probably just not meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. You can find all of the most recent restreams of our readings on our website, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. We do have a shop, and that's located at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. Right now, that's a bunch of affiliate links, which means we make a small commission off of each and every sale. Our brand new shop is ready to open. Grand openings coming up very shortly. There is a small preview soft opening happening, and you can find the link to that in the chat threads of this stream. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga, or on YouTube. You could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving us a donation. We do appreciate your help, and we really appreciate you for being here for this reading. Remember that just because the reading is for July 19th, if it's not July 19th when you're reading it, when you're watching it, it's probably just the right reading for you no matter what day it is. So let's see, starting out with this King of Swords, followed by this Page of Wands, and then we have the Devil card. So this is fun. The King of Swords doesn't care about this part. Remember that these court cards are different parts of our human personality. The part of the human personality that is represented by the King of Swords doesn't care about being spiritual, doesn't care about other people, doesn't care about anything other than being right. And usually is right in a very forceful manner, oftentimes a scorched earth manner. Sometimes there's anger involved, sometimes there's not. But it's a very destructive part of the human personality that would rather be right than happy, and would rather be right than compassionate, and would rather be right than anything. And even though ultimately maybe you are right, maybe you're not right, but the need to be right is the problem. The need to be right against all odds is the problem. I went through that this morning. I was talking to some company. It's easy for me to get into that when I'm talking to a company, because there's so many companies have such contempt for their customers anymore, and they don't really care about anything except for making their own profits. They really don't care about their customers. And so when you're trying to get customer service, you get all this nonsense, and I get so angry. And then I reminded myself, they don't care that you're angry. And you needing to be right about this situation, all it's doing is causing you psychic damage right now. So you got to find a way out of this, Ariel, because this is not where you want to be. And I really had to talk myself down several times, and I did. And I gave myself about a D+ in regards to how I reacted, and about an A- for pulling myself out of it. And that's what we can all do, because Oftentimes, the other people don't see it the way you do, the ones that you're so angry at. And so it's not like you're going to convince them when you're in the King of Swords energy. It's not like they're going to say, oh, you're right. They're just going to think, God, they're being a jerk today. Right? So it's mostly the psychic damage that it does to us that we really should be concerned with. So just be aware of that. This is in the past, it's saying, but it's in the reading. So even if that's not what's going on right now, the propensity is still there. And it seems to come about for most of us, and definitely in this reading, when things don't work out exactly the way that we think they should. That's our ego. That's our arrogance. No, it should be this way. And if it's not this way, boy, is there hell to pay, right? And you may not actually even verbalize it. It may be totally internalized, which is almost even worse. Talk about psychic damage when you have all of that pent up hostility that maybe you're thinking, well, I'm going to be nice, and you're not going to express it. It's nice that you're not going to ruin somebody's day, but it's still not good for you because it's so toxic. All that energy is just like poison. So we've got to recognize it and call it out for what it is. And there is a momentary sting when we have to deflate that ego. There is. And we have to be willing to go through that because it's a good sting. It's like lancing a boil or something. When we say, I would rather be happy than right. I'm not going to worry about being right about this situation. I'm not going to indulge my ego because my ego keeps telling me, no, you've got to be right. You got to be right. You got to win this argument. You got to, you're right. Don't back down. Don't back down. And when you're in the throes of that kind of a experience, it's a no-win situation until you just stop, until you just completely stop and start over again, right? And that way, if you do it before you start being real King of Swordsy, you have less cleanup to do later too. I didn't have too much cleanup to do today because I didn't really lose it, but I sure wanted to. Okay, so then this Page of Wands in the midst of all of this is saying that you have all kinds of good news about your work, all kinds of good news about either your job or your career, your creative work, whatever it is. And it's almost being ignored because of these tendencies to need to be right, to need to assert yourself in that way, that sort of egoic way. And I don't want you to feel bad about yourself if that's true for you. If this is not your reading, well, yay, you're not going through it. But for those of you that this is speaking to, don't feel bad about yourself for being a human being. I mean, it's nothing for you to feel guilty about. But if you rise above it, it does set you ahead of the pack. You are operating on a higher level than most people are when you are able to diffuse that and just think again, rethink the situation and just say, nothing is worth the destruction of my peace of mind. Nothing is. It doesn't need to be a certain way. I have everything that I need to be happy, and I can be happy right now, even if it's not a certain way. And if I'm happy and I'm relaxed, then I'm in a position of power to maybe even start moving things into the certain way that I want it to be. But if I'm all King of Swordsy about the whole thing, it's not ever going to budge. It's always going to be an obstacle. I don't have any power over the situation. The King of Swords wants you to believe that its way gives you power, but its way takes away your power, is what happens. Okay, so then we have this beautiful priestess card, followed by this, this is the Knave of Wands. Well, what is this one? Oh, this is the Seven of Wands. I'm sorry. I was right, though. The Knave of Wands did come up on the Page of Wands. You do have all kinds of good news. And things are so what's happening with the seven? Sorry about that with these cards. I'm not used to these images, and the print is super small. But the Seven of Wands, what it's talking to you about is that in the midst of all of this, there's so many good things going on in your job, your work, or your career, and you don't want to pull the King of Swords energy with whatever's going on into that, because what you're going to do is you're going to delay all of this wonderful progress that's happening in your work. So let's get really committed to whatever this is, this creativity, this work, this job, this business, whatever these things are that are so wonderful, let's get into those things and just disregard the King of Swords completely. Disregard the devil completely. Don't worry about if things are exactly the way you want them right now. Just follow the energy of what you want. The energy of what you want is really moving in the right direction, and you're going to be really happy. You're going to be really, really happy with the way things turn out, but don't let that King of Swords and that devil energy delay your progress. I don't think it can stop it because you're on too solid of ground, and you've got so much momentum going in your job and your career, your creativity, whatever this is, that I don't think anything's going to be ruined or destroyed, but it definitely can be slowed down, and we don't want that. Now this strength card, is that what this is? Yes, the strength card, because these images are very different than what I'm used to. The strength card, beautiful though, aren't they? Is talking about how when you step back from all of this King of Swords, when you step back from all of this devil stuff and you see it for what it is, then you start being able to look within you and see what's causing it. You can't when you're in the throes of it, but when you step back from it and you look at it objectively, you can look within yourself and say, now, where did that beast come from? What is that beast? What is it trying to accomplish for me? Because it's trying to help me, right? When you lash out, or when you want to lash out, or when you have such seething animosity towards something or somebody, there's a part of you that's trying to do something good for you, but it's very misguided. It's being hooked by your ego mind. And so what you can do is when you take a few steps back and you start looking at the situation more objectively, you can start to see, oh, I see, it's trying to protect me, or it's trying to make sure that I get my needs met in some way or another. But because it's based on such old programs that are so outdated, it doesn't know what it's doing. And so I get all this because of it. So you can start having compassion with yourself for having all that King of Swords stuff and all that devil stuff, and realizing that you're just trying to get something good accomplished, but you're just misdirected and misguided as to how you're doing that. So you may want to listen to that meditation based on the Strength card. It's called Transforming Fears, Problems, and Worries. It's a good one. Now, I didn't even talk about this High Priestess card, and we're already almost done. This High Priestess card is talking about how the reason why you don't want things to be exactly the way you say is because you don't know what's possible yet. There's so much that is better than what you can come up with in your own imagination right now that you're not aware that's possible for you. And so if you are constantly saying, no, it's got to be this way, no, it's got to be that way, and get so upset when it's not a certain way, what you're doing is you are delaying the progress of this High Priestess who is trying to bring you something out of nowhere, bring you something out of the mystery. And you want things to show up for you in ways that you weren't expecting right now, because what you're expecting is fine, it's on the right track, but it's so much better than what you think it could be. And so when you keep shutting stuff down because it's not looking like what you think it should look like, then what you're doing is you're delaying the progress, because you don't know what that's going to end up looking like when it finishes playing itself out. And it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. You can't help but have it be wonderful, but you sure can delay it. You can sure pull back on it. You don't want to do that. So let's look at the King of Swords. It's trying to do something good for you, but it's not. It's very misdirected. It's very misguided. When you feel this way that, oh, I'm so upset because things aren't what I want them to be, tell yourself, well, but that's because things are going to be better than I thought they were going to be. And I'm just going to trust. I'm going to trust that everything's working out for me in a wonderful way, because I know I'm doing all the right things. I know I'm doing all the right things. So I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to allow myself to derail my progress. All right, we got to get going. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Suzanne, Deline, and Dre. And we will see everybody for another daily reading tomorrow. Until then, blessed be.